Okay, so this is our number 2 video of how to do our pumpkins. We have already done how to draw our pumpkins. So I picked here a more natural looking pumpkin, and now it is time to color it. So I'm gonna pick orange just because pumpkins are orange. But if you look at Yayoi Kusama's pumpkins, a lot of times they're orange, but sometimes they're kind of crazy colors. So I don't care what color you pick, but it has to be a colored pencil. No markers, because we're going to be doing value with these pumpkins. So value is the lightness and darkness of a color. So it's, if you think about doing really lightly, right? Here is a light orange. Here is a medium orange, right? Here is a darker orange. And maybe we could even get some more values up here, right? We can kind of mix them in a little bit. So that is a value scale, light to dark. So when we think about these pumpkins, we got to see where are light sources coming from, right? So is the sun coming down, so it's light to dark? Is it over here where it's going to be light to dark that way? Or what you can do is kind of individually, you could make them, well, I've seen some really cool projects where you do dark to light in the middle. So each individual little piece here kind of has its own little value scale. So I don't care which one you do, right? You can go light to dark, or vice versa, light to dark, or you can kind of do your own little value scale in each one. So to do the each one, let's start with that, is basically you would want to do dark, okay? Dark here, and I'm gonna go a little fast, so remember you need to focus on craftsmanship, but I am going a little fast, so it might be a little sloppier than I would like it to be. So here's your dark. Remember, it is how hard you press down is how dark it's gonna get. So you don't wanna kill your paper, but you want to have some nice pressure in there, okay? So we have the dark, okay? And I would go a little bit farther than I have here, right? You at least need 3 values, right? You need medium, you need a light, very, very light, and then you need a darker one. So you need at least 3 please forgive me, I'm not gonna restart this video. distinctive values here, okay? So you need at least 1, 2, 3, right? Light, medium, dark. So here is my dark. I'm gonna go more medium, okay? And then what you can do is I like to start really, really light and then go back to blend, so you don't have that just a stripe in there, right? You're kind of blending your medium and light together with your dark. Okay, so here's this. Okay, and you can always go back, right? So I see a little line here. I'm just gonna kind of mix it in, right? The thing is with value is that you can always go back and make it darker, but it is very hard to go back and make it lighter. So start off really light and then go dark, because you can always kind of keep adding more. Okay, so I'm not gonna fill this whole thing, but basically you can do it all the way over in your little section, or some people I have seen do dark on both sides and kind of go medium to light. So that you have plenty of options how to do your value scale. These kind of turn out pretty cool is because the dark kind of highlights these little crevices in here. So it's each section here. So see how you went from dark, medium to light toward the middle. So like I said, you can do it to one side, each one, or you can kind of do in the middle here. Now we can also do light to dark, okay? So like our light source is up here. So what we would do is, like I said, I like to start light, and you could even start with your dark down here too, but then I like to do the light to the dark, to the dark, okay? So we're gonna go up here, kind of divide it into like thirds. This is about where I want the light and medium. This is about where I want the dark to medium. So, and remember, you don't want it to be like a value sectioned off, right? You don't want it to be light to dark. You want it to be nice and blended like this. So here I'm gonna start off with the light, okay? And you really do need to go section by section. Even if you're gonna go light to dark like I am here, I don't wanna go light to dark, you know, like the whole pumpkin. You need to go section by section, so it really highlights those nice crevices. Okay, so here's so say now we have two values, dark and light. Now we can kind of mix in the medium. So I'm going back and adding just a tad bit more pressure, just so it can kind of mix in here. Tad bit more pressure. And then here is, I'm being a lot lighter because I don't want to get too much medium up in here, but I do want it to be a nice blend. Oh. And sometimes if you do take an eraser to colored pencils, it helps lighten it up a little bit. So if you do completely mess up, oh, here it is. You can kind of go back and, like I made a little bit of too dark right there. It does take off some. It doesn't take off all of it, but that can kind of help you edit it if you need it. So I'm gonna make this just a tad bit darker to make it a really nice medium. You know, and remember, make sure you color it all in, right? You don't want these big streaks of white, right? You want it to be nice and neat, nice craftsmanship, okay? So here we have light, medium, dark, okay? So again, that's one way you can do it, where your light source is up at the top. You can do each individual where you have dark, medium, light, or even just dark to light here. Or you can kind of go dark. I'm not gonna do the whole blending here, just to save time. But you can go dark, medium, and then light, right? But remember, you have to have it. So if you do choose to do it that way, you still need to kind of blend it as well. This one might be a little bit more difficult because you won't just have 3 values. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll have 7 values, or you'll have, let's see, 1, 2, at least 3 or 4, right? So I would suggest you do up at the top, light to dark, or each individual one. But I have seen some students do it where they section it off like dark, medium, light, and it has turned out successful. So I do want to give you that option as well. Okay, so that's how I want you to color your pumpkin. Remember, you don't have to do orange. You can, or you can do some other kind of crazy funky color. And then don't forget to color your stem. Now, if you would like, you can even color it orange, because remember, we're not doing realistic colors if you don't want to do realistic colors. but you can do any kind of way for your stem. Remember, we talked about drawing in those like pieces to make it look more like a vine. You can do that, or you could even do that with your values, right? So I did about a medium pink. If I go back and kind of make darker vine looking things right there, and then even make this darker here or lighter, right? Actually, it would, if your light source is up here, your top there would be a little lighter. But anyway, so you can do that. You could even do a value scale with your stem too, okay? So that's how you color your pumpkin. And then we are getting into our infinity dots in the next video.